Hey guys, today I am going to do a page in my traveler's notebook. I had just the absolute best time with Jack this past weekend, so much so that I can't even decide which photo I want to use first. So I've grabbed two and I'm just going to see how I go. Today I'm using the new Field Notes collection from Rosie Studios. I ordered this many weeks ago and it has finally arrived. And maybe that's a good thing because it couldn't go more perfectly with all of the photos that I took during this weekend. So I've started with a 6x6 paper pad and I was like carefully going through it, trying to pick out a paper I liked. I came out with this kind of rainbow stripe and then I decided just to go for it. I'm just going to pull out all of the papers that I like and see how we go with this page. I don't really have a huge plan for it. I just want to use some of this pretty paper and I also wanted to use this puffy sticker as the title for my page. It says, "Hey Kiddo." The puffy sticker sheets in this collection are pretty cute, perfect for, again, all of these photos of my favorite little buddy here. I decided to use that rainbow striped 6x6 paper. I was going to say kind of as a whole. You did see me there. I was about to trim it down and I figured, no, let's just plan this page out a little bit more before I start cutting into things. So I'm going to leave it whole for now, and it's probably going to end up sort of sitting in the middle-ish of this spread. But I do want to add some other patterns to this. So I'm starting by mounting my photo with a couple of different patterns. One's kind of a tealy blue that kind of worked really nicely with the green in the photo. And the other one is this, it's not really red, it's kind of corally colored spot. I'm only showing a tiny little bit of those anyway. And then to help the stripe stand up a little bit more, but also because it's such a cute paper, I've got that pink paper there, pink and red, little apples on there, just too cute. Now, this blue plaid was definitely going to have to be used on at least one of these Jack spreads because he has a jacket that's almost the exact same plaid, and here in Dunedin it was very cold, so he was wearing his jacket most of the weekend. So I'm going to add that in behind. Again, it's just going to help that lighter paper stand out off the background of my notebook. So it's just a white notebook. I want to help that pattern just pop a little bit more. Now I was going to start chopping into some of those other papers and I figured, hey, I've got tons of scraps here sitting on my desk. Let's just stick with what we've got. So I pulled back out that coral and teal and I'm just going to use a couple of pieces of that on that left-hand side just to help balance things out a little bit. Now today I've got there was a glue stick sitting on my desk, so I decided I would use that to stick some of these papers down. They are definitely papers, they're not cardstock, they are very thin, and so the glue stick works perfectly for that. Just since I had so little of it left, I thought I would just use what I had there, and it actually works really nicely with this kind of thinner paper. I'm not sure how well it would work with a kind of cardstock, but as far as these thin papers go, it works perfectly until I totally ran out, and now I'm back to tape runners. So I'm just trimming these little pieces so that they sit under that 6x6 there. It's not going to end up perfectly centered on the page, and I did just mind blank and go to glue it straight down and I realized I haven't trimmed it for my spine here. So I did just mark it with a little pencil mark so that I could work out where I was going to cut it, because you can see it's not exactly in half like I thought it was going to be, so lucky I didn't cut it before. And then I stuck down one side and I'm going to line up the other side, leaving just a tiny little gap. This is a notebook that I made myself and I stitched it, so you can see the little it almost looks like a dotted line. That's where the stitches go through the notebook. It's not quite as obvious here as it is in the center page that I used red thread to do that. I probably won't do that again. Luckily it goes with the color scheme here. Now you always hear me talking about how many die cuts you get in a citrus twist kit. I gotta say Rosie Studios probably has them beat. Apart from there being a lot of different die cuts in here, you also get 2 of each, which is super handy, especially if you worry about hoarding like I do. I want to keep all these cute things. I can use one and keep one if I especially have to. So this does take me ages to go through here, and again I'm doing what I normally do, which is I'm not necessarily laying anything out exactly where it's going to go. I'm just going through the pack to sort of narrow down some of my choices. because there are millions in here, guys, millions. And just kind of having a play around with where things might go. There's lots of kiddie things in here, so again, perfect for these photos. And I just want to pull out some of those same colors that I've used, some pops of red, maybe a little bit of blue, and definitely a little bit more yellow. Now I'm obsessed with those apples, and I've already used the apple paper, so I definitely want to use them somewhere in there. But I do really love those mushrooms as well. They are super cute. There's some little kind of know-me guys in there to go with all of this, but not appropriate for this page. I will definitely use them elsewhere. I had a yellow ticket, which has a little love heart on the kind of tear off strip of it, but I just couldn't quite fit it on this particular layout, so I'll leave that for later. I am going to add the yellow tag here and just kind of cover up the sentiment that's on it, and that way I get that little pop of yellow. I'm also adding my apple there, and there was a little clipboard that says "You Were Loved," which just seems, you know, super appropriate for this page too. And I've also pulled out that little banner that says "Better With You," and I think I'm going to add to that with a little bit of stamping and kind of use that like my journaling. There probably is a ton more I could say about this photo, but we spent, I gotta say, like 80% of our time at various parks and playgrounds, so I'm sure there will be a lot of other chances to add those kind of stories. So for now I'm going to stick with a really bold title, and like I say, I'm going to use that banner and some stamping to kind of a journal in here. Now, before I overthink everything too much, I'm just going to start sticking stuff down. I loved the little like Instagram love heart speech bubble thing at the top there, so I added that as well. Stuck down my cluster on the right and my photo, so there's no going back now. And I'm going to add this title. I stuck down the little heart, not heart, apple first, and then I'm going to add my title, and I want to add my title so that this first word, hey, kind of overlaps the apple a little bit. You can see here I'm just using one of those 6x6 bits of paper that I pulled out just to kind of create a ruler guide for myself to try and get this title reasonably straight. I added the letters kind of gently at first, and then I go down and stick them a little bit harder to make sure they stay stuck on. That was actually a really easy way to get that straight on the page. I just lined up the angle against the spine of my page, and that got the whole title straight, so super stoked with that. I'm going to add a couple of little puffy sticker not hearts, again with the hearts, stars in there, and then I added my banner just overlapping that bottom mushroom a little bit, kind of creating another cluster. And then I'm going to use my favorite little alpha stamp from Kelly Stamps. I've begged Kelly to re-release this alpha because it is so cute. Mine is so well used, you can see down here, and I'm just stamping "Life is better with you." So that's my kind of attempt at journaling on this page. I did decide, going against all of my norms, that I'm going to add a date stamp in here. Kind of feel like it's more important with these photos of Jack rather than my random photos of coffee or whatnot. And that's this super simple spread all done. I totally love how this comes out. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that other photo straight away too. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.